Zello, Dodgers fans, today, we're diving deep into the evolving dynamics of the roster, exploring how this team can maximize its lineup and defensive versatility. As we move from spring training into the regular season, there's a lot to unpack with how each piece fits together, especially when we look at how the Dodgers can use every player to their advantage, while staying competitive throughout the long grind of the season. One of the most interesting discussions revolves around balancing offense and defense, particularly in the infield, and figuring out how the roster moves made this offseason will pay off. When the games start counting in earnest, when it comes to building a strong team, it's never just about one player or one position. The Dodgers are now managing a roster with a blend of experienced veterans and fresh talent. And the real test will be how they integrate these players to create a cohesive unit. For instance, the arrival of a versatile infielder like Kazuma Okamoto adds a new layer to the discussion. He's projected to slot in at third base primarily, offering above-average defensive capabilities, but also has the flexibility to fill in at first base if needed. In the past, Okamoto has shown a strong arm and a solid defensive presence in Japan's professional leagues, and now the question is how well his skills will translate to Major League Baseball. The expectation is that he will contribute significantly both at the plate and in the field. But naturally, there will be some adjustments in the transition to the higher level of competition. Looking closer at the corner positions, the picture seems a bit clearer. At first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. continues to anchor the position with his Gold Glove caliber defense and consistent defensive production. There's little doubt that he'll remain a cornerstone, and his presence provides stability for the rest of the infield. On the third base side, while Okamoto is being positioned as the starter, there are considerations about how he'll perform on the turf field, how quickly he can adapt to major league speed, and how his offensive game will translate. While there may be some early season experimentation, the goal is to maximize his playing time where it counts, ensuring the Dodgers get both defensive reliability and run-producing potential from that corner of the diamond. Of course, the heart of this conversation is the middle infield, where decisions have the biggest strategic impact. Shortstop and second base are positions that demand not just defensive skill, but also durability and adaptability over a full season. Players like Ernie Clement and Andres Jimenez offer intriguing options here. Jimenez, as a premium defensive talent, is being considered primarily for shortstop duties, allowing him to showcase his range while keeping Clement, who has a strong track record at shortstop in the minors, at second base for the majority of games. This approach balances defensive performance with managing physical wear over a long season. There's also flexibility for Addison Barger and Davis Schneider to rotate in as needed, giving the Dodgers multiple options to address matchups and rest days, without weakening the defensive structure. The debate over who should play where in the middle infield also ties directly to overall roster strategy. If the Dodgers were heading into a playoff scenario today, many would agree that Okamoto should be at third, Clement at second, Jimenez at shortstop, and Guerrero at first. This lineup leverages defensive skill across the diamond while maintaining a solid offensive presence. There's still a question mark about how Okamoto will adapt, particularly with harder-hitting major league batters compared to the Japanese leagues, but the organization has clearly invested in him as a starter, signaling confidence in his ability to contribute meaningfully both defensively and offensively. Moreover, the flexibility of the Dodgers roster allows for creative usage of utility players. Clement, Barger, and Schneider provide the team with the ability to rotate positions without compromising overall defensive stability. This depth is particularly valuable over the course of a long season, where injuries, fatigue, and strategic matchups can dictate lineups from game to game. The Dodgers front office has prioritized this versatility, ensuring that while the core positions are set, there's ample room to make adjustments on the fly depending on pitching matchups or the need for occasional rest. A key consideration is also managing workload and minimizing fatigue. Playing Jimenez primarily at shortstop could be taxing, given the demands of the position, but by placing him in a spot where his skills are most valuable, the Dodgers can optimize performance. Clement, meanwhile, can absorb some of the flexibility, moving between second base and occasional shortstop duties to balance both defensive effectiveness and hitting opportunities. By carefully managing these roles, the Dodgers aim to keep their top defenders on the field consistently, while preserving their offensive production over a long season. Another layer to this discussion is how spring training will shape these decisions. Early Performance can dictate positioning and playing time, and it's likely that managers will experiment with rotations to see which combinations provide the best balance of defense, offense, and stamina. By the time the regular season starts, the goal will be to have a lineup that is not only strong on paper, but cohesive on the field, with players familiar with their roles and capable of adjusting as circumstances demand. The Dodgers' depth in the infield and corner positions makes this possible, and it gives the team a competitive advantage as they prepare for another challenging season in Major League Baseball. The conversation doesn't end with just the infield. Utility players, bench depth, and situational matchups all play a significant role in roster construction. Players like Barger and Schneider offer strategic options that can be utilized to maximize the effectiveness of starters, while giving the team flexibility to adapt to different pitching rotations. This approach allows the Dodgers to be proactive in game planning, ensuring that each day's lineup is optimized for both defensive coverage and offensive output. With a manager skilled at maximizing roster efficiency, these utility players become invaluable components of the team's overall strategy. Finally, the balance between offense and defense remains the central theme. While Guerrero, Okamoto, and Jimenez anchor the core positions, the integration of versatile players like Clement, Barger, and Schneider allows the Dodgers to navigate the inevitable peaks and valleys of a long season. Decisions about who plays where, when to rest certain players, and how to deploy utility options will directly impact the team's success. The overarching goal is to field the best combination on any given day, while keeping key players healthy and ready for the high-stakes games at the end of the season. This strategic layering of talent, experience, and versatility gives the Dodgers a blueprint for a competitive, balanced team capable of making a deep playoff run. Moving beyond the infield, the Dodgers' corner outfield positions also demand attention, though the solutions here are a bit more straightforward. Right field and left field both feature players who bring a combination of athleticism and proven offensive production. These positions are critical not just for fielding, but for shaping the lineup's balance. Right field, for instance, requires someone with the range to cover ground, but also the arm strength to prevent extra bases. With the roster as it stands, the Dodgers have players capable of meeting these defensive demands while maintaining strong offensive contributions. The balance between defending against hard-hit balls and ensuring consistent run production is key, and the team's depth allows the manager to make these decisions with confidence. Left field presents a similar scenario, with players who combine defensive skill with hitting potential. It's not a position where debate is as fierce as it is in the infield, but performance here can still swing games. Matchups against pitchers, shifts in offensive strategy, and lineup rotations will all play into who sees the most time in left field throughout the season. The Dodgers front office has clearly invested in building a roster that can adapt to these variables by having multiple players capable of contributing at both corners. The team avoids being overly reliant on a single player and gains the flexibility to respond to injuries or slumps without a significant drop-off in performance. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Dodgers roster is how they can integrate new additions, like Kazuma Okamoto, into the lineup while preserving the integrity of existing core players. Okamoto's role at third base is central, but his ability to fill in at first base if needed also creates additional flexibility for matchups and defensive shifts. Meanwhile, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. remains the anchor at first base, and his presence allows the Dodgers to allocate playing time in a way that balances both offensive firepower and defensive coverage. The interplay between these corner positions and the infield ultimately dictates how well the Dodgers can execute on both sides of the game, giving them a competitive edge over teams with less depth. Turning back to the infield, the ongoing conversation about shortstop and second base remains central to the Dodgers' strategy. Andrés Jimenez, with his exceptional defensive abilities, is expected to handle the shortstop position for the majority of games, providing both range and arm strength that few can match. Ernie Clement, meanwhile, offers versatility and experience, able to slot into second base or fill in at shortstop as needed. This dynamic allows the team to manage workloads and maintain defensive excellence, while also ensuring that players with offensive upside are positioned to contribute regularly. Managing these rotations is an art form, and it's one that will have a major impact on the team's success over the course of the long season. Utility players like Addison Barger and Davis Schneider play a critical role in this strategy. Their ability to step into multiple positions allows the Dodgers to rotate starters strategically, manage fatigue, and respond to injuries without compromising the lineup. Barger's quick reaction time and defensive skill make him a reliable option at third base when Okamoto needs rest or when matchups suggest a different configuration. Schneider's experience in the infield adds yet another layer of flexibility, enabling the team to adjust dynamically as the season unfolds. The presence of these versatile athletes ensures that the Dodgers can maintain a high level of performance even when faced with unexpected challenges. The offensive side of the equation is equally important, while defensive alignment is critical. The Dodgers must also generate consistent production from the lineup. Okamoto, Guerrero, Jimenez, and the supporting cast all contribute to a multifaceted offensive strategy that emphasizes both power and situational hitting, matchups against left-handed and right-handed pitchers, bullpen strategies, and late-inning substitutions all factor into how the team positions its hitters. By maintaining depth and flexibility across the roster, the Dodgers are positioned to adapt on a game-by-game basis, maximizing run production while keeping defensive standards high. Pitching strategy also intersects with these roster decisions. The Dodgers' rotation and bullpen composition influence who plays where on any given day, as matchups can dictate lineup adjustments. For example, a left-handed pitcher may prompt a switch to favor a left-handed batter, while defensive alignments may change to neutralize power hitters on opposing teams. The interplay between pitching, hitting, and defensive positioning is intricate, requiring constant evaluation by the coaching staff. The Dodgers' depth allows them to execute these adjustments without losing competitive balance, ensuring that every player's strengths are optimized in the context of the team's overall strategy. Spring training serves as a testing ground for these decisions, allowing the coaching staff to evaluate how new players adapt, how returning veterans perform, and how positional flexibility can be applied in practice. Early season performance will help determine final alignments and rotations, providing clarity on questions about Okamoto's fit, Clement's positioning, and Jimenez's usage. These evaluations are essential to ensuring that the Dodgers enter the regular season with a lineup that is cohesive, resilient, and capable of sustaining success over a long, grueling campaign. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Whispers are already circulating around Major League Baseball circles. Could Garrett Crochet be the missing piece in the Los Angeles Dodgers pitching puzzle? Sources close to team insiders hint at a move that could send shockwaves through the National League West, as the Dodgers reportedly look to bolster their bullpen with the young, hard-throwing left-hander. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere prospect of Crochet donning Dodger blue has sparked a frenzy among fans and analysts alike. Garrett Crochet, who has shown flashes of brilliance in his short MLB tenure, is known for his electric fastball and the ability to generate strikeouts in crucial situations. His presence in the Dodgers pitching staff could provide immediate reinforcement to a bullpen that has faced its share of inconsistency, with a rotation already brimming with talent. Adding Crochet could give manager Dave Roberts more flexibility, particularly in high-leverage moments late in games. Scouts have long praised Crochet for his composure on the mound, a trait that makes him an attractive option for teams hunting for reliable arms to navigate the grueling stretch run. The rumor has ignited discussions not only among fans, but also on sports talk shows and social media platforms, with debates swirling around how Crochet's addition might shift the Dodgers' strategy. Would he slot directly into a closer role, or become a multi-inning bridge for the team starters? Could his left-handed power pitching be the key to shutting down the league's most dangerous lineups? While these questions remain unanswered, speculation alone has been enough to energize an already passionate fan base, eager to see what this potential acquisition could mean for a team with championship aspiration. Even rival teams are reportedly keeping a close eye on the Dodgers' pitching moves, aware that a strategic acquisition like Crochet could tilt the balance in the fiercely competitive NL West. Analysts are dissecting his recent performance trends, strikeout rates, and even his potential matchups against divisional rivals, all while the baseball world waits for an official announcement. If the deal does come to fruition, it could mark a turning point in the Dodgers season, offering a glimpse at a bullpen that could rival the league's best in both depth and versatility. For now, all that remains certain is the buzz surrounding Garrett Crochet and his rumored connection to one of baseball's most storied franchises. As fans and pundits alike speculate on the possibilities, the anticipation continues to build because in the world of MLB rumors, sometimes the chatter itself is half the thrill. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.